Hi, I'm Robin Allenson. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Similar.ai. We've talked a bit about how you can pull in the keywords which competitors rank and turn those into topics and then match those up to pages in order to work out which new pages you might launch, as well as to work out all kinds of other things. But one common question we get is, what if I don't have a great set of organic competitors? I'm not sure which sites I'm really competing against. But I have a pretty good idea of what kind of keywords I would like to rank for and how to describe those. Rather than using what we call a competitive keyword ingredient or a competitor keyword ingredient, so taking in the keywords which competitors rank, instead you can do something called a label keyword ingredient, which builds a label group and then can take one or more label groups and then does a broad match. So it looks at all the keywords which mention combinations of those labels. So we can look at that today. So imagine we'd like to rank for lots of keywords that universities rank for. And so first of all, we'd like to create a label group for which universities there are in the UK here. And then we'd like to generate keywords that contain one or more of those. We can do that by adding an AI label group. We can just type in something like UK universities. When we describe the label group, we could give some examples such as Warwick University, Edinburgh, and UCL. And then we click on generate labels. When we're thinking of how we describe some of the examples we might give, it's important if you care about capitalization or if you care about using things like abbreviations, that you can give those as examples. That's actually a great way of guiding. This is a prompt going to a large language model, but there's actually quite a lot more going on under the hood to make sure we get better results. But you can guide those. So here we've got a bunch of different, like London School of Economics and Political Science, as well as University of Edinburgh and King's College. These all look pretty good. We can generate more, and we can keep on doing that. And then when we're happy with that, we can then click on save. That will save all of these. It may be that in some cases there are doubles that are generated. It won't save those, so it will only save the unique examples. In addition, if there are some of these that you don't like and you want to remove, you can just click on some of these and remove them. When you remove them earlier in the process and you generate more, we'll get better quality additional labels than if you do that all the way at the end. Here we've got a label group that we've saved, so I've actually got one down here that saved already. So here we have a bunch of UK universities. It's only a small number. You can make this as big or as small as you like. You could add 100 here if you wish to do that. Still in setup, we're going to go from taxonomy. We're going to go over to keyword ingredient. We're going to add new keyword ingredient, and we're just going to choose labels here. And when we choose labels, we see the label groups down here. Here we're just going to choose one and click save. We could choose a combination of these. So that might make sense. So here, for instance, we've got course topic along with the university, or course topic along with the city. So that might be something like accountancy degree or computer science degree plus Edinburgh or plus London. And so there we would look for all of the keywords which contain both of those things. And if there are no keywords that contain both, then we wouldn't pull anything back. So here we're going to pull back all of the keywords which mention any of those UK universities. There are limits in doing that. You can set those up or chat with your onboarding manager. So here we can click on fetch. That's going to pull these back from the SEMrush API, and then we can take the normal flow into generating topics from these keywords. There are a couple of things to say about doing label keywords. So the first is label keywords are super useful if you're thinking about programmatic SEO. So in the case where you'd like to do something like here, any keywords to do with different universities, and then you're thinking of building out different topic pages around the different universities, that can be very, very powerful. Looking for the different keywords means that you can be demand driven in how you build out that programmatic SEO. The second thing is you can use this for multiple dimensions, sometimes they're called. So you talk about 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional programmatic SEO, where, for instance, you might have not only the university, but also the type of degree, like a computer science degree or a finance degree, plus the university. And so those are better at finding longer tail combinations. The third thing to say, though, is that when we're running these label keywords, it can take a lot longer to run these than it would if you were doing competitive keywords. So we can get competitive keywords back in a few seconds or a couple of minutes, and we can turn those into topics in a few minutes or in an hour or two. It can take many hours, it can take a couple of days to run a large set of label keywords. Still, if you've got that time, it can be a very powerful technique. The other thing to say about label keywords is that unlike competitive keywords, they don't cover latent intent. So what I mean by that is that all of the keywords, it's kind of in the name of how we described it, but all the keywords explicitly mention, say, one of the label groups, so say a university and maybe the degree. And so if you look at the kind of keywords for which those universities rank, many of them won't explicitly mention the university itself or the degree. And so we call that implicit intent. That can be very powerful. And so competitive keywords allow you to tap into that. Label keywords don't. But understanding those nuances, you can also combine competitive keywords and label keywords in the same index and then use that to generate topics. From there, all the normal great stuff we do with turning keywords into topics, and then which we cover in lots of other videos. Thanks a lot for your time.